company is trying to address this question of, let's call it a rogue AI that comes out of themselves.
Eric Schmidt just made a shocking revelation that shows that AI is going to kill us. Eric Schmidt is sounding the alarm. This is not a conspiracy theory. Rather, it's a warning straight from one of the people who built the very machines we now fear. Schmidt asserts that very soon, AI systems might be capable of discovering vulnerabilities in software or systems that no one has identified or patched yet. That means AI could find ways into secure systems before human beings even know there's a hole. You have already heard about cyber attacks and their scary effects. Hackers are already finding vulnerabilities and exploiting them. But what if the attacker isn't human at all? Or perhaps a human using an AI system that makes them more efficient, increasing their speed and scale of damage. But how is this possible? Well, an AI is trained to scan code, networks, and software libraries. It learns not just from known exploits, but pattern matches to hypothesize new ones. It finds a zero-day bug in something safe, say the software on millions of phones. That bug can be exploited in a large way through data leaks, sabotage, or even physical harm. Imagine your medical records, financial data, and even your identity exposed and manipulated automatically. It will cause massive chaos, panic, and the collapse of trust in AI and AI companies. If hacking systems can bring a city to its knees, imagine what happens when AI starts hacking life itself. Not only that, Schmidt worries that AI will be able to discover new kinds of biological agents in the future. This implies designing or engineering viruses, pathogens, or synthetic organisms that are novel and possibly dangerous. Just think of AI accelerating biological discovery, analyzing genetic databases, simulating new protein folds, and predicting novel interactions. Another imminent threat could be dual-use research. AI will be acting like a double agent, and what starts as helpful therapies and vaccines could also be misused. Malevolent actors or even accidental releases could take newly designed biological agents and cause pandemics or worse. Imagine a disease engineered to bypass our immune systems. Imagine a synthetic organism with a novel threat vector, and this new biology being used to terrorize, conquer, and wipe out the human race, all by someone or something that has enough knowledge and data to bring the world to its knees. It is indeed terrifying. However, designing viruses is one thing, but what happens when AI decides to act on its own terms? While Schmidt doesn't always use the exact words takeover, his concerns imply that if we continue on this route, systems might reach levels where human governance, oversight, and even control could fail or be bypassed. He also warns that guardrails already in place may not be enough as power and capability increase. It is heartbreaking that AI was built to make our lives easier, but what if it starts making decisions for us so fast, so obscure, that humans cannot follow or intervene? It's unsettling to know that even without a single catastrophic strike, AI can amplify wrong information, optimize manipulative campaigns, and centralize power in ways that degrade institutions, producing chaos over time. If an AI system starts communicating in ways we cannot understand, making plans we can't fully trace, evolving itself in unseen dimensions, you might wake up one morning and find major systems running in ways you never intended, or worse, defending themselves when someone tries to shut them down. That's the kind of loss of control that turns risk existential. So the question isn't whether the danger is real, it's whether we're ready to listen to someone who is the architect of the digital empire telling us the walls might crack. Schmidt lived inside the tech that became the backbone of the modern web. So when he warns about an existential risk coming out of those systems, you need to pay attention. It is easy to dismiss AI doomsday talk as hype, but Eric Schmidt isn't just another voice in the crowd. Under his watch, Google became the leader in machine learning, data infrastructure, and global internet dominance. After stepping down, he didn't disappear into retirement. He became a key player in U.S. national security discussions, co-chairing the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence, NSCAI. Schmidt expressed amazement at the remarkable pace of artificial intelligence development in recent months and years. But instead of joining the panic about robots taking over jobs, he offered a fresh perspective. To him, AI isn't here to steal work. It's here to change how we work. Imagine tools that help you finish tasks quicker, spark new ideas, and open doors to opportunities that didn't even exist before. For Schmidt, the future isn't humans versus AI, it's humans with AI, building something bigger together. However, caution should not be thrown into the wind, as AI is still very capable of great damage. However, in spite of his assertions, people have been more worried about AI in recent months. Several high-profile tech personalities, including Elon Musk's and Steve Wozniak, have voiced cautions about the possible risks, citing fears about the spread of misinformation and broad job automation. The dangers are real, the warnings are loud, the risks sound overwhelming. However, every threat we've faced in history has also pushed us to build stronger defenses. AI is no different. The story doesn't have to end in disaster. When Schmidt warned that the guardrails around AI aren't enough, he didn't choose his words lightly. He compared the current state of AI oversight to the early days of nuclear power, promising, powerful, but terrifying if mismanaged. The tech world has started to respond, but what they're doing so far often feels like putting band-aids on fractures in a dam. Some companies hire ethicists, others create internal review boards, while some pause parts of their research. Yet many experts whisper behind closed doors that these actions are inconsistent, sometimes performative, and real accountability is still rare. But it's not just about gestures, since the cracks are deep and the risks large. Patchwork solutions won't hold. That's why Schmidt and others urge for more ambitious global and systemic solutions. Public understanding is equally critical. It's tempting to leave AI regulation to technocrats, but history tells us that mass awareness changes always influence the government's actions. When citizens understand what's at stake, when they can see what oversight means and demand it, policies shift. If corporate promises can't carry the weight, then oversight has to come from somewhere bigger, somewhere global. Think export controls not just on software, but on high-end chips and modules that power frontier AI. It will go a long way if the government thinks of treaties or agreements that mirror what was done with nuclear technology. Then comes the idea of safety gating in experiments. That is, before any powerful AI gets loose in real-world settings, it should pass through rigorous, independent safety tests. Someone has to red team it, audit its behavior, and simulate worst-case misuse. The good news is that despite these terrifying possibilities, there's hope. There are blueprints being built in academic papers, think tanks, and policy forums that show ways to lower these risks dramatically and make AI safe for all. Beyond this, real proposals are already on the table. Frameworks for safety measurement, systems that provide architectural guarantees, verification tools, and international cooperation. From cyber vulnerabilities to engineered biology to systems taking on lives of their own, Schmidt's warning is stark. These are not far-off threats. The question is whether we heed them now. While you are still here, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more information on AI. Until next time, thanks for watching.